I'm slowing down as a man, and I'm blessed enough to have this conversation with you on behalf of all the Kenyans who are watching this, to discuss about food, specifically around libido, specifically around our lifestyles.
For men, the main hormone is testosterone. So that is what will drive everything to do with the reproductive health for men. We're talking about libido. It's the main hormone that of course is linked to libido. Building muscle. I've seen men go to the gym and you need to put on muscle. You need testosterone for that.
Yeah.
The gut is sometimes regarded as a second brain.
So what are we supposed to do to avoid the whole the prostate cancer?
Maintain a proper nutrition. First, don't skip any meals. So make sure you're getting your quality breakfast. Make sure you're getting your snacks. Make sure you're getting your lunch, maybe your snack and your dinner.
What's the name of that Luya?
Yeah?
That
Mukombero,
yes. Is this true?
Yeah, just a few.
Does it check out? Ila is saying oysters, me I'm saying Mukombero. Does it check out?
Hey guys, welcome back. We have missed you. Welcome to a very special episode of Mantalk.ke. Today, we're in a new location. We're at Novotel in Westlands. We're in a beautiful barbershop that they have here with lots of other facilities. We'll put all the details in the link below. And this is an exclusive episode as we partnered with Healthy You. Now, this conversation came about because me and Oscar are getting older. We're trying to figure out how to live a more fulfilled life internally as much as externally. A lot of the conversations on Mantalk are to do with our mental health, and it encompasses also your nutrition. So we have a very, very special guest that Oscar will introduce, and we've got some very interesting topics that we'll be discussing today. So strap in. But can I just say something, Oscar, before we start? And we discussed this on set.
God.
Let me put this down. So Mantalk is all about positive masculinity.
Oh God.
And before this, we realized that in all of our years, 6, I believe, Oscar's never told me that he loves me on set and on camera. So I just wanted to know if you're open to just
I am not
exercising that kind of.
It's healthy you, not healthy us.
Just before I just thought it'd be nice. To
first of all, I'm going to jump straight into the episode.
Let's demonstrate healthy.
Let me tell you, first of all, the conversation today is about food.
Wow.
And I'm going to keep, and that's why we're going to keep it.
Well, I love you, buddy. Let's get into this episode.
Guys, let me tell you something. Let me let you know. The best thing about this episode is I get to introduce the guest and the topic and completely ignore what Eli has just said. So, without much ado, I am very pleased to tell Eli that I love everybody on this set.
We've got some work to do. And that's okay. Everyone's a different person.
So, without much ado, massive introduction to Martin Mugambi, Chief Nutritionist at Healthy You. And today I want to talk about something that's really, really important to us as men, which is our diets and food and the rolling, transformative way that food is changing as we grow as men. Personally, I feel like as I enter my 30s, I'm slowing down, Eli. But you're very much running.
Vibrant. Yes.
I feel as though I'm slowing down as a man. And I'm blessed enough to have this conversation with you on behalf of all the Kenyans who are watching this, to discuss about food, specifically around libido, specifically around our lifestyles, specifically around our mental health, and how these lifestyle changes and our food can complement those diets as well.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Looking forward to the conversation as well.
Yeah.
So when we were structuring this episode, we realized that we need to make sure the men are engaged. So we want to start with the topic that you want to hear most about. We're going to get the expertise on this. So I want to ask about the link between nutrition and men's libido. Is there a link, and what is that principle in terms of the link between the two?
That's a very good question. Of course, there's a very big link between nutrition and libido. Nutrition provides the foundation for almost every function in the body. So right from the formation of testosterone, which is the main hormone that drives libido for men, you need nutrition for that. To make sure that there's proper circulation, which is another important aspect, you need nutrition for that. And also the aspect of making sure there is proper stimulation, so your nervous system, your brain is functioning optimally. You need nutrition as well. So that cuts across from different nutrients. I'm sure almost every man would have an idea about something like zinc, because they know that's one of the key minerals that drives, men's health, fertility for men, and of course libido. And now different foods will provide nutrients for different purposes. So if it's circulation, for instance, if say you're doing something like beetroot, these are the foods that will encourage the formation of nitric oxide. That's what causes now the circulation to increase, especially in the organs, to the penis and the reproductive organs. So you look at it from different perspectives. Which nutrients do I need for the formation of testosterone? Which nutrients do I need to make sure there's proper circulation? Which nutrients do I need to make sure that there's proper functioning of the nervous system from the brain? And of course, overall health. Because you need to be healthy, you need to be fit, and all that drives is driven by proper nutrition.
So I just wanted to take a step back because we've started assuming that we know everybody knows the functions of testosterone. So let's begin with that. Let's take a step back and begin with what is the role of testosterone in like men's daily health and life?
So when you think about the human body, how it's set, it's driven by hormones. So there are different body systems, and one of the system is the endocrine system, which basically is the hormones. Same way for women, we'd be talking about estrogen, we'll be talking about progesterone, and these are the hormones that drives the reproductive cycle for women, right? For men, the main hormone is testosterone. So that is what will drive everything to do with the reproductive health for men. We're talking about libido. It's the main hormone that of course, is linked to libido. Building muscle. I've seen men go to the gym and you need to put on muscle. You need testosterone for that. So ideally, that would be the main key hormone for men, without which you'll not be able to function as a man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So on a very basic level, so libido is linked to higher testosterone levels.
Yes.
So what's like on a basic level, what should men be taking at bare minimum to make sure? Because I think one of the biggest fears is when we get older in life, we're going to start losing testosterone and libido. So what can men take to sustain that through their youth and all the way into older ages? Is it that basic though?
Yeah, it is. And when you think about life, you're thinking about the different phases of life. And so from you become an infant, you become a baby, you become a child, you become a teenager, you become a young adult, and then you become, a mature adult, and then you become an, older person. Now, what happens is, for most of these hormones, especially testosterone, for a man, by the time you're hitting the age of 30, you're not able to produce enough testosterone.
God, please help us. Father, calm down.
So then?
So,
so now what do we do?
So now that means you have to make sure that all the nutrients that your body requires to be able to make testosterone, you're getting them from your diet.
Great. So what are those nutrients? Let us start.
Jump straight.
Now we can start from there. And ideally, the idea would be you start early, so you don't have to start at the age of 30. So you start building your stores early, so that you don't start when you already have deficiencies. So from teenager to, a young adult, you just have to make sure that you're eating healthy, because the mistakes that we make is, because when you're young in your 20s, you feel you're very energetic, you can do everything. So sometimes you may end up, in terms of diet, not really caring much. But then when you get to 30, you start feeling the impact. So start early. The basic ones, as I mentioned, would be minerals like zinc and selenium. That's why you hear men talking about pumpkin seeds, for instance. It's one of the richest sources of
pumpkin seeds.
Zinc.
Is it available? I can go to a market today and buy pumpkin seeds.
I think these days it's very available. And if you cannot get in another market, you can walk into any health store and definitely get pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
We have a tendency as men to overdo things. How much pumpkin seeds should we
Do
be
I need
taking?
500? Kwanza me, I'm
buy a
already
sack.
mid-30s. Do I need like 500 grams a day?
To catch
It's like I have a batch in my stomach.
No, and I think the point to that would be, it's a lifestyle.
Okay.
So you have to incorporate it in your diet, so it becomes an everyday thing.
Okay.
Ideally, you need about, for a normal individual, you require about 15 mg of zinc in a day. for the normal function. So of course, as you grow older, the requirements increase, and maybe if you're working out, the requirements will be higher. That would mean taking a lot of pumpkin seeds. But the idea is, say you're taking your protein. Protein contains a bit of zinc as well.
Okay.
So in your overall diet, you make sure you're getting something from your protein. You're doing your vegetables. You're getting dark green would have a bit of minerals as well. You're getting from zinc. Maybe if you're doing fish, you get something. Oysters are good sources of zinc. So if say you're mixing different things, you're able to get your requirements.
Okay.
So it's not like
does chicken have the zinc even? Like how you've put me towards oysters, I must push you towards what I see.
They do. They have zinc. It's only that maybe the amount is not so high.
Okay.
But yes, you'll get
Great.
zinc. So the idea is how you plan your diet.
Okay.
Of course, one from the macros, you make sure you're getting enough quality protein. And so that would be especially animal protein, chicken, fish, because we encourage more of white meat. So red meat is also very rich in most of the nutrients.
Okay.
Though for other reasons, we encourage more of white meat. You make sure you're getting your good fats. That is, your omegas and all that. You're getting your quality carbohydrates, and then you get these nutrients.
Okay.
So the idea is you have to make sure that your diet is very nicely organized from what you're taking for breakfast, without skipping meals, what you're taking for your snack, what you're taking for your lunch, your snack, and your dinner. Yeah,
so I wanted to speak a bit on selenium side, because now we've covered zinc.
Yeah.
Right. So with zinc, you've said pumpkin seeds is one of the foods that like can really boost that.
Yeah.
So what other foods can be boosted from that side, and could you touch a bit on selenium so we could understand what it is and what it does for our bodies?
Yeah. Selenium is one of the nutrients that works very closely with zinc. One, it's an antioxidant, a mineral that has got antioxidant capabilities, and I maybe to explain that is within your body you produce a lot of maybe through metabolism toxins in the body, so you produce a lot of these toxins, so you need to deal with that. So obviously selenium will help protect the prostate. We talked about the prostate health. You need selenium to protect that. And the sources would be some of the superfoods like moringa, for instance. All foods are rich in grains, and cereals will contain a bit of selenium as well. Nuts are good sources of selenium. So if say you take your diet from different food sources, then you're able to get enough of that. Selenium, the highest concentration would be in the testes for men. That tells you how important it is for a man's health. So that together with zinc would work together to make sure that your reproductive health is working, semen production, testosterone, and prostate health is maintained. Yeah.
So I want to find out the correlation between supplements and libido, because yes, there's the foods that we should be taking, but I think a lot of the time when it comes to lifestyle, when it comes to time to even find these foods and implement them into your diet, a lot of guys struggle. And obviously at Health U there's lots of supplements. So if someone was to walk into the store and they need the baseline, I know there's zinc as a supplement, but if you had to pick supplements that maybe are harder to weave into your diet, what should be maybe on their rack in terms of supplements?
3 or 4 basic ones. Zinc, definitely. Selenium, that should be another one important to pick. Omega-3, it's very key, again, for the formation of testosterone. You need omega-3. Vitamins, vitamin C is also good, needed for your testosterone levels. You need that as well. And then apart from that, you'd get some of the herbal botanicals, which are not food, but they're available in form of supplements. I'm sure if you've walked in the health store, you see some of the nutrients like Tonkat Ali, Shilajit. Everybody's talking about Shilajit in the market. It's more like a combination of a lot of trace minerals.
What's that? It's called what?
It's called Shilajit.
Shilajit.
Yeah, Shilajit.
Okay.
So it's like, in a simple way, it provides a lot of the trace minerals. So how the body works and how it functions is you have the key nutrients that drives the function, and then you have these nutrients that works together with the main nutrients to drive different functions in the body. So these are some of the things that would be the basic. And actually what I tell men is, instead of, again, for this small nutrients, picking this one and this one and this one, just get a proper multivitamin. Then you get a bit of all these, and then you add what is required in high amounts.
The people who are living particularly intense lifestyles, so you'll find like an athlete has different dietary or needs different nutrients.
Yeah.
Like me, who have a very sedentary lifestyle, we're in front of laptops the whole day.
Yeah.
Then we go home to work to lie on a bed.
Yeah.
We might also need a different nutrient mix. So I was wondering, like, are there targeted products that can be able to help us be much more productive in these different fields that we're operating in?
Yeah, definitely. So when you walk into any of our health news store, one of the things we talk about is personalized consultation.
Okay.
And that means us choosing the right products that are very specific to your need.
Yeah.
If you walk into the store, you get, if it's vitamin C, we all know vitamin C is good for immunity. You'd get 5 or 10 different types.
Yeah.
So I should be able to pick the right one for you based on what you need. Maybe you've got a flu. You need a certain form of vitamin C that will be able to deal with that right away. Maybe you're battling a chronic condition, so you need a vitamin C that is able to stay in the system for longer. Maybe you need a vitamin C and you've got ulcers, so you need a different type of vitamin C. So the idea is, when you walk into the store, we have a conversation in terms of how your diet is, because the diet should always provide the foundation. And then now, based on that, we add the nutrients. So a good example is what you've asked for someone who's living a sedentary lifestyle, and maybe sometimes you're not able to get all your meals. Take it this way. If for you to get enough vitamins and minerals from your diet, you'd have to do 5 servings of fruits a day. And 5 servings of vegetables a day.
Yeah.
And that would mean like 5 different fruits every single day. A serving size of vegetables would be like, if it's raw and cooked, would be a medium-sized cup. That's 1 serving. If it's cooked half, that's 1 serving. And then, of course, you'd have to make sure that you're getting enough of your protein, you're getting enough of your, quality carbs. Not so many people are able to get that. And that's why, for me, most of the time I'd advise do a quality multivitamin, because then it supplies those unique nutrients. And then one of the other things that we forget a lot is, omega-3.
Yeah.
Omega-3 will be good for your brain health. Omega-3 will be good for your skin health, inflammation, controlling inflammation in the body. But most of our diets, we don't have omega-3. If you're getting it from, you can get from plant-based sources, maybe seeds and nuts. But the conversion rate now to the active forms of omega-3, you'd have to consume quite a bit. Fish, what we get locally is not really quality sources of omega. So supplementation becomes very necessary. If maybe based on your lifestyle, say if you're maybe smoking, maybe you're taking alcohol, or maybe you're involved in places where you feel you're exposed to a lot of oxidative stress, then you need antioxidants. Simply put is, the different nice colored foods, those will be the sources of antioxidants. So anytime you see the blueberries and all those fruits that are nicely colored, the veggies and all that, those are your sources of antioxidants.
That's very interesting. You used a term that I don't want us to blow over.
Yeah.
Oxidative stress.
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes.
And I don't want us to blow over that term.
Yes.
What is oxidative stress, and how does it show up in men's lives?
Okay. Oxidative stress would be different things. Okay, like for instance, when the body will eat food, carbohydrates, right? And then it's broken down into, say, glucose. And then the body will use that to produce energy, because now that's what we'll understand as energy.
Yeah.
That process of metabolism, of breaking it down, is part of it is there's oxidants that are produced. So now it's like, when you're cooking.
What is an oxidant?
That's now what I'm trying to explain in a simple way. So see, like you're in the kitchen and you're cooking. There's smoke that is produced. So you could take that as an example. So you have to deal with that smoke. Because what will happen then, it will harm the cells. And then it becomes, a cycle of now the cell is affecting, it's affecting the other body cell and all that. So you could take it from, you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, the smoke is produced, you have to deal with that smoke. So those would be the oxidants, for instance. So either from toxins, every single day you're consuming a lot of toxins, you're walking in town, the fumes from the vehicles, maybe the foods that you're eating, say burnt food, or if you're doing stuff that is like, if it's chips and all that and it's badly cooked. So all these things are introducing those toxins in the body and oxidants in the body, and you need to deal with that. So it's either people who are smoking. Smoking introduces a lot of oxidants in the body, a lot, and you need to deal with that as well.
Shisha.
Oh yeah, it's actually, from my understanding, it's got the concentration is way higher compared to cigarette.
Wait. Let's take a step back. So you're telling me that shisha has a higher concentration of oxidants than the standard cigarette?
Yeah.
So you think it's better to smoke cigarettes?
No, it's not.
Okay.
You should avoid both of them.
But just in that category of oxidants,
Yeah.
shisha prevails.
So
Okay.
yes, so now let's reel back to the antioxidant conversation, right? So which sources of foods that are accessible for Kenyans have the highest level of antioxidants?
The basic antioxidants would be things like vitamin C. So that's your fruits, citrus fruits, oranges and all that. Those are good sources of vitamin C. It's actually the basic antioxidant that you can easily get from most of the foods. From even peppers have got a bit of vitamin C in them. So you've got that. You've got, we just talked about selenium. I've talked about vitamin E. It's one of the best antioxidants. That one will get in mostly from nuts and seeds. Those ones will be rich in vitamin E. And then most of these, we call them the phytonutrients, would be now what I was calling the multicolored foods. So if you're doing the like yellow peppers, the berries, the fruits, those ones are very rich in antioxidants. Raspberries, blueberries, those are some of the very best that you can get. And of course, your veggies and your other fruits.
Great.
Okay, so one of the things I want to be very conscious of when men are watching is we've given them such vital information.
Yeah.
But as a standard guy that just, like also saying, either goes to the office, gyms once or twice, nutrition, and I've felt this as well, can seem like overwhelming. It's got so many plus B, X, Y, Z, these tablets, this colored food portions. What's a baseline decent 24-hour day in terms of what you're intaking as a man in their late 20s, early 30s, that maybe has a lifestyle where, yes, they have a good social life, they want to enjoy their weekend, but they also want to have a decent nutritional basis. So they're going to the gym once or twice, but they also want to have fun on the weekend. What's just a good baseline, a 24-hour?
Would be, again, first, don't skip any meals. So make sure you're getting your quality breakfast. Make sure you're getting your snacks. Make sure you're getting your lunch, maybe your snack and your dinner. So we'd start with quality breakfast in the morning is you're getting your protein. So maybe you could start with eggs. Eggs are some of the richest, sources of protein. So maybe do 2 eggs.
Is it true that having them raw is more efficient? Because you see Rocky Balboa doing it, and sometimes guys just want to down the eggs.
Not really.
No,
really.
It doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't make a big difference.
So it's only good for movies?
Yeah, exactly.
It's good for movies, but from a nutrition point of view, well, of course, if you fry eggs, maybe the amount of cholesterol will be slightly higher because maybe you've used some oil, but depends with the kind of oil you've used. Maybe if you've used olive oil, again, it doesn't have any impact. Depends with what you're using. But so
we're taking eggs, and is it in the morning for a good baseline? Are you now taking your supplements in the morning, and is it before or after breakfast, if so?
So if, say, we are building a plan for a normal man, say you do your breakfast, say you've got eggs.
And let us assume this man uses the yellow oil, the yellow one. Not olive oil, the yellow.
Like something like canola oil or sunflower oil.
Exactly.
Like so say you do eggs and then you do a good source of carbohydrates. So you could go with oats. I would definitely recommend that. Gives you complex carbohydrates and fiber, because also you need to make sure that your bowel movements and all that fiber is good for digestive health. If you can do that, do your sweet potatoes, yams and all that. That's another good source of quality carbohydrates. And then throw in some fruits, because you need that. For the vitamins, supplements, the basic one for me would be just one proper multivitamin and an omega. because you rarely get that from the diet. That forms and omega and multivitamin you can take in the morning because again multivitamins contains some of the B vitamins, and that helps to give you energy, to sustain you throughout the day. So it's better taken in the morning.
So we started the day with our eggs, our carbohydrates, our fruits, and our supplements. So that's what's on the table. So you're sorted.
Yeah, and then the good thing with now the carbohydrate source that we've taken is because there's fiber in it, and so again, if you can also throw in some veggies, even better.
Even better.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a perfect segue. It's like move into the gut-brain connection for mental health, right?
Yeah.
What are the trends that you're seeing as a nutritionist when it comes to like mental health and food? And what do you think are the things we can improve on as Kenyan men?
I think a lot of people understanding that what you eat will affect how you feel and how you perform from a mental and brain point of view. And the connection is really very straightforward. The gut is sometimes regarded as a second brain because, the brain cells, the neurons. You've got a whole complex network of those neurons in your gut. There are different functions in the body are driven by, we were talking about hormones earlier. And one of the hormones that most people don't understand is what we call serotonin, which is what helps to boost your mood. So when you're feeling happy, it's actually called the happy hormone. So when you're feeling you're low and maybe you get either some amino acids of the protein that helps now to make this serotonin, now your mood is lifted. 90% of that hormone is actually stored in the gut. So that's a straight connection. When you look at the gut, within the gut lining, I'm sure you've heard of probiotics, right? And within the gut, there is a term, a technical, nutritionists or technical people call it the gut microbiome, which basically is a balance between it. Within your gut, you've got both the good and the bad bacteria. And the balance is what matters. And that's why people will encourage you, make sure that you take your yogurt, do fermented foods, kombucha, kefir, and all that. That
Is Moratina fermented food? Sorry.
Interesting, yes. It's fermented.
It's fermented food. Does it qualify?
Not food. So from a fermentation point of view, it qualifies. From the other
Maziwa mala?
Maziwa mala, yes.
Yes, maziwa mala falls under. So it's good. Would you call it like probiotic?
It's not probiotic, but you see what happens is the maziwa mala will also kind of because bacteria operates under very certain range of pH.
Yes.
So anything that alters the pH within the gut will determine which bacteria will grow faster and which one will be suppressed. So the foods or the probiotics is just to make sure that that is maintained.
That you have a healthy gut microbiome.
Yes, that's very key because then even management of conditions like say depression, anxiety, your gut lining is very much linked to that.
Really?
Yeah. And the basic of it, of course, is if you take any food, whether it's you meant it for your brain, as long as it's not digested, it's not broken down, it's not absorbed, it will never be utilized. So you need your gut to be functioning in a very optimal level. That's the only way you can get the nutrients.
You see, we are using terms here that we assume that like I always use it, but I don't think I really know what it means. Probiotic, that term probiotic, right? Where does that term come from and what does it really mean?
It's probiotics refers to the bacteria.
Okay.
So within your gut, you've got billions of different bacteria. And you've got both good and bad bacteria. Now, probiotics will refer to the good bacteria within your gut. That controls anything from your digestion to your immunity and to so you see the gut is like very thin layer. So you've got the lining of the cell and then you've got the mucus layer and then you've got the bacteria, the good bacteria. That's how that lining is protected, because what would happen is if food is broken down and probably it's not absorbed and some of those materials now get a chance to get into the blood system, now you start having issues with allergies and all that because the body will react to a foreign material. That's how immunity works. So that creates a problem. So you have to make sure, that's why I was saying, until food is from the mouth until, it's processed. It's actually almost outside your body because it's not available for the rest of your body. It's only within the gut lining.
In my community, we have something called uchuruagokia, which is fermented porridge.
Yeah.
Would that qualify as probiotic?
That would qualify as fermented food.
Yes.
Okay.
We are living well, guys.
So as we're going along the line of the information, I want to parallel it to this guy and how his day's going.
Yes.
Because what he's going to hear is that whatever you're intaking affects your mood.
Yeah.
And say he's on a grind or work day that requires a good mood for all of his morning meetings, before lunch, right? Yeah. So the breakfast we've recommended, is that going to cater for the serotonin levels with what he's taken in? Or is there something we should be adding at breakfast time to be able to make sure your mood and your diet during your day is optimal?
That's a good question. And maybe going back to the part of the recommendation in terms of the basic supplements that I would recommend is if, say, you've taken painkillers, maybe in the recent past, if you've been, maybe you're sick, you've been on antibiotics. If, say, you're someone who is taking a lot of, say, alcohol, you had been under a lot of stress, these are things that will affect your gut bacteria. So sometimes we recommend probiotics not to be taken continuously like a multivitamin, but as you need or based on, how you've been. So sometimes I say do it for a month and then skip a month or two and then you can do it again. So that would be number one. Number two, we've just talked about some of the fermented food. So if you can do that, that helps. If you're taking maybe your oats, for instance, you could do that with yogurt. So that's a good way of making sure that you mix that into it. You're getting fiber, which is very key. And some of the basic minerals that we may not have talked about within the foods. If you're doing all foods, most of the time you get all your vitamins, you'll get all your minerals. And these are the ones that drives gut health as well. Zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, the B vitamins, these will be in your all foods, but they still drive the health of all these other body organs. So within, for snacking, if you start with that breakfast, maybe you could do nuts, for instance, or your fruits.
This is not before lunch, right?
That's before lunch.
Okay.
And then during lunch, you make sure you get your protein, you get your carbs, and you get your greens, and then of course, especially those would be the three basic things.
Okay.
And then after that, you do your snack and then you do your dinner. Now, if there's a person who is going to the gym, of course you have to consider the aspect of maybe they need a bit of energy when they're working out. So maybe something like creatine becomes an important supplement. It's
Creatine.
It's the most researched sports supplement. So it gives you that energy. And then maybe post-workout, because they say you activate the muscles in the gym, but the growth is outside the gym. The nutrition gives you that foundation for the growth. So maybe protein, again, both from the diet. So you could do your eggs, you could do your fish, it could be your chicken, it could be, any good source of protein. And then, of course, if you need to supplement with another supplement, you could go for a whey protein, for instance. For the people who are into extreme sports, or if you need the recovery as you sleep, so maybe you have another protein source that you can take. So you start with the basic, which would be 3 proper meals with good snacks, making sure that you've taken care of the macronutrients, which is the protein, carbs, and the fats. And that's why I'm throwing in the aspect of the nuts and seeds, because those will be the good sources of your good fats, the omegas, and then now your veggies and your fruits. That forms the foundation. And then from there, you can add in the supplements based on the need.
It's very interesting that you've laid this out for us, and I'm trying to see, okay, myself personally, I'm very trained to eat ngwashie, ndoma, and then I love, because I'm a very vain Nairobi man. I throw in sausages, throw in maybe a sausage and tea, right? Then I go for my day. Sometimes even as a guy, I'm late for work, for example, so I'm waking up scrambling. So I'll just pour muesli or I pour cornflakes into a bowl, pour milk into it, eat that. I open the fridge. Maybe there's yesterday's ugali and skuma. Throw that and pack that for lunch. And then at the end of the day, maybe that's when I'll eat like a a proper meal.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I've never really felt that need to be making those investments, right? Because maybe I'll have a sluggish afternoon.
Yeah.
I'll have eaten yesterday's ugali with skuma.
Yeah.
Like I'm asking myself, okay, what supplements can I add to this chaotic lifestyle?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I have to dash downstairs, otherwise I'll be late for the 9 a.m. meeting.
Yeah.
Then within that 9 a.m. meeting, maybe I have a 2 p.m. I don't have that much time to like eat and prepare and overcook.
Yeah.
How do I supplement my diet given this like this harrowed lifestyle of like I have to be constantly moving? Because I feel like the assumption that we are making here is we are working with a very structured man. You know, he wakes up, he wants to go to the gym, you know, he has access to that. So it's like I'm asking myself, okay, this is a mid-career professional.
Yeah.
They have a pretty stressful maybe job or very stressful, slightly stressed life, but very like normal looking life, very normal looking budget.
Yeah.
How do we create breakfast, lunch, and dinner supplements for them so that they can be able to be productive and growing as well? To include them into this conversation as much as we can.
Yeah. It's very interesting because in an ideal scenario, they say you should take your breakfast as a king, your lunch as a prince, and your dinner as a pauper.
Let's go.
Terms of,
now we are talking.
And for most of us, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, maybe you're late for a meeting, you're rushing in the morning, you're very busy throughout the day, and in the evening, that's when you're taking a very heavy meal.
Yeah, because you don't need to beat traffic.
Yes.
Yeah.
But think about it. If you're taking your heaviest meal at night and then you're going to sleep, you don't need a lot of those calories, for instance. And so what happens is also it becomes an issue for weight gain. And also because your digestion maybe is taking place at night, you don't get quality sleep, which is another very important aspect.
Sleep.
So as much as possible, it's good to try and work on improving your breakfast, your lunch, your meals. But if it's not possible, then again, from supplements point of view, still maintain the ones we've just discussed, the multivitamins, the omegas, probiotics when it's necessary. But in your case, you'd go with a meal replacement because you can get some of these meal replacements.
What's a meal replacement?
Meal replacements would be, if you walk into the stores, it's a combination of, would be a combination of, say, like protein, carbohydrates, and vitamins and minerals. Remember, when we were creating the diet, we talked about the protein, the carbs, and the nutrients, right? So a meal replacement is actually meant to provide those nutrients, but it's ready on the go. So all you have to do is take a shake, maybe mix with your milk or smoothie, and you could actually mix it with you can take a meal replacement, mix with anything that you like. Maybe it's yogurt or your milk, or maybe in a juice.
Is this available in store? So I go in store and pick the meal replacement.
Yeah.
Okay.
But ideally, we would not encourage that. It's the day that you feel I don't have time to take a proper breakfast. You could go with that option.
What products exist like as meal replacements at Healthy You?
If you walk into the stores, we've got a nutritionist in each and every store.
Yeah.
So you walk into the store, speak to the nutritionist, tell them I need a proper meal replacement. They'll get you. It's more like, you see, when say you're sick in the hospital and you're not able to eat the normal food, you get like you powdered drip, that you mix with milk and water and the patient is given. So in our world would be something like that, but now catering to your specific needs.
That's great.
So speak to the nutritionist to get the option.
It's funny you said that, and this is why I was paralleling it to the day, because when we first connected, it was because my lifestyle was changing, right? Because I was training for a run. Yeah. And one of the things my team used to notice is and why I'm talking about the breakfasts is the days that I'm not having those breakfasts and I'm rushing, much like Oscar. Yeah. I'm now sluggish by that 11. Yeah. And I personally found the difference when you gave me some bars and you gave me some like gels now for activity. Yeah. I found that it was such a quick solution. Yeah. But then how do we steer away from now relying on it? Because I found that because I know if I have this protein bar, I'm good for like a few hours while I sort of figure it out.
Yeah. And that's And I think that's a very good point. And that's, say, when you do a proper breakfast, it helps. But if it's not possible, like, for instance, talk about the protein bars.
Yeah.
Now, the issue is within the market, you get some of these snacks that are full of sugar and other crap that is not good for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the idea is then, if you must go with that, you have to make sure that you're choosing from a very quality brand, that you're actually getting the nutrients that you're looking for. How you make sure that you not get to that, because then it becomes a quick fix for you. I think it's just discipline and just making sure that you, as much as possible, and meal preps, because I think people do that as well. So when you have time, you can prepare your meals so that, if your day is packed the following day, maybe you can do your meal prep the day before.
Yes.
Yeah.
But okay, so for me as well, one of the problems is when I was looking at food and diet, it was more from a place of functionality and just energy.
Yeah.
Like I just need it, but I'm not really considering it as much as I should.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we went from breakfast.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about now energy levels throughout the day. Right. So with what we've established for breakfast, we should be good up until like midday.
Yeah.
And then we mentioned vitality earlier, right? So now when the midday comes and you're having your lunch, how do you make sure that now what we're intaking does not give us that slump that was described for the tail end of the day? Because what I find typically is it gets to 1:45, I've had like a lunch, and then now I'm feeling that slump until end of day. How do we maintain our energy levels going throughout the day?
It's a very good question.
That's a very good question. And when you walk into the health you store, one of the terms you most likely will hear the nutrition say is low glycemic or low GL diet. In simple terms, that is complex carbohydrates. The difference is that is food that is not processed. We're talking about the ngwashi and doma and all that. So because it's broken down slowly, and then the glucose or the carbohydrate is released slowly into your bloodstream. So it gives you a bit of sustained energy. One of the reasons I'm a big fan of oats is because of that. Because you see, the difference is if you take oats right now and you take white bread, the white bread will be processed within 1 hour, max 2 hours. And that calories, that energy, if you don't need it, it's again changed into glycogen stored in the body, and that's how you gain weight. This one, because there's fiber in it, and if you in your diet you've got protein in it, then it makes it a slow release. So sustained release of energy that will give you, will sustain you throughout the day. So the catch is to make sure that you've got veggies in your diet, you've got complex carbohydrates in your diet, and you've got protein in your meals. And of course, the portion sizes, you've got to control the portion sizes.
That's very interesting. So you're saying if in the morning I do maybe 2 slices of bread, butter, or Blue Band, and then maybe tea, and then as I rush out, then within an hour that energy is gone.
Especially if you're doing
then I eat ugali and nyama choma with because I'm now like me, I'm putting it, I'm actually like trying to see, then I eat ugali nyama choma, then I have a very sluggish afternoon. What's that? Is that is it because of the bread in the morning, or how do I, like, what's that effect that heavy ugali has in my stomach that makes me start falling asleep at work, and nyama choma and what's that effect? Like, what's the science behind that? And how can I optimize for lunch? I eat 1, 2, 3 things, and then suddenly I unlock 3 to 4 hours of just peak productivity in the afternoon. How do I solve for that?
It almost connects to our earlier conversation about taking your breakfast as a king and your lunch as a prince, because then what happens is, say you take simple carbohydrates in the morning. And that means by 2 hours it's done. So your
and I need to
energy
eat
levels,
again,
because the way your sugar levels behaves, your energy levels will behave the same, and your mood will be affected as well, right? So you want something that is able to maintain your blood sugar levels in a certain nice level. Now, what happens is, for most people, is because you took light breakfast, and then during midday now you've got very low energy. Now when you do lunch, you do a very heavy meal. Now that has to be digested, right? So the body will, the circulation and everything is now into processing that food, because we've taken a very heavy meal. And obviously now it's in the afternoon, you've got work to do, you need to maintain that focus. It becomes very difficult. So you kind of taxing your organs even more. So the idea is portion sizes. There's food choices and there's portion sizes. That has to be controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, during the day, you want to take something that becomes easier for you to digest and carry on with you.
That's very interesting. So you're saying that the problem here is that you're eating, you might be eating simple carbohydrates in the morning, and that leads to a very heavy appetite in the afternoon.
Yes.
And then your portions now are bigger.
Yes.
And it's because you're trying to fulfill that appetite.
Yes.
And then you're seated down trying to work while you're...
And you still
I never thought of it that way.
trying to break down that food. So that becomes a problem. And of course, the other things around that, you have to make sure that you're hydrated. Because if you don't have the hydration levels, again, it will show fatigue, mood changes. So there's a diet bit of it, and there's, of course, you have to make sure that the hydration is there as well.
And exercise? How does exercise play into this like continuum of this person? Because now I can imagine if you're working out, maybe let's assume the time that you're working out, right? So let's assume Eli is running a marathon, for example, but then he also has to have a work day during the day, right? So if Eli decides to work out in the morning, right, then he'll have to eat a lot, maybe in that after his workout in the morning, and then that can push him into the afternoon, and then at the end of the day, then we can follow that King Prince Pauper philosophy. But what if he's working out at the end of the day? Right? What if he's working out at 6 p.m.? Does he still follow that? Because that might seem to be...
The basic principles would ideally remain the same.
Okay.
But what would happen is, because, for the workout, there are 3-4 different aspects you have to look at.
Okay.
One is the hydration. So taking your water and electrolytes, how you fit in within that system. And energy for workout. And number 2 is when you're doing the workout, post-workout, you have to look at the recovery bit of it. So then what do you add to make sure that within hydration, it's something that is continuous from morning to evening. So of course, if you're working out, your requirements will be higher. That's one thing. Number 2 is for recovery, if you're going to the gym, the protein levels will increase as well. A good example would be for someone who is not working out, would require roughly around 1.2 gram of protein per kg body weight. If you're working out, that could be anywhere between 1.2 to about 2 grams of protein per kg body weight. So that means that for someone who is working out, your protein requirements are higher. So if serving size portions for your protein will be higher compared to a normal individual.
That's very interesting.
Imagine if post-workout, most of the time, and that's the reason why people will go for something like whey protein, is for the recovery, you have a window period of between 30 minutes or so when your muscles can easily absorb the protein, and that's why people will go for the whey protein. So maybe post-workout for someone who's working out in the evening, then you have something like whey protein after that, and then maybe you're taking your dinner after that. So you've taken advantage of that period of time, the window of
that 30 minutes.
Exactly, to make sure that you fend your muscles for the growth and recovery. And then, of course, now you have your dinner.
So using that analogy, I can do the creatine before I start the workout. And then get into the gym, sweat it out, and then use that window of opportunity, that's the 30 minutes, take in the whey, and then have my dinner as a popper. Fair. Okay.
So I want to, because before we jump into the final segment, I have one question, but I want to first analyze what we've discussed, right? So general principle as a guy is, you've said king, prince, pauper, in terms of proportions of your meals as the day goes on, right? Then you said we need to also take care of our gut health to maintain our moods as we sort of go throughout the day, right? So now in terms of, if you're following those principles, in terms of time, very type A, what's the best time to sort of end eating before you sleep and recover the next day? Because there's some myths and I want to just debunk them.
Okay. I would say the best time is, make sure if possible, you've earned your dinner maybe before 8 p.m. In terms of meals, proteins will take the protein and fats, especially protein will take the highest amount of time to digest. So before you sleep, make sure that you've given yourself at least 3 hours for the food to be digested. Because again, you don't want to take a very heavy meal and then you go to sleep. Digestive process is still working and then you're trying to sleep. it becomes a problem. So if you can do, majority of people, from my understanding, what I think is they sleep between anywhere from 10 around there. So then if you're having your dinner early, 7, 8, it gives you enough time to make sure that digestion has taken place before you go to sleep.
Okay, perfect. Now I wanted to now sort of shift us into prevention, right? Because I think a lot of the time people say the word food is health, right?
Yeah.
And one of the big stigmas that we want to also try and debunk today's conversation is around prostate health.
Yeah.
So I wanted to find out, we've talked about general health.
Yeah.
Are there any nutritional tips that guys can implement to sort of prevent prostate cancer coming later on in life?
There are things we can do. Or as we started by saying, nutrition provides that foundation to make sure that you live longer and feel younger. We talked about the normal, the growth curve from when you're a baby to when you become, an elderly person. Within that, your body is changing. The ability, resilience changes along the way. And if you have proper nutrition, it helps build that resilience. And for prostate, for instance, say if most of men from the age of 60 and above will start having issues with the prostate enlargement. May not be issues of prostate cancer, but could be because of the prostate enlargement. Because what happens again, we talked about testosterone. So what happens is, yes, you're from that is what you're able to produce is maybe not sufficient. But what happens is now when you're getting to 50, 60 is now the level of free testosterone actually reduces. So what happens is now the level of a very potent form of testosterone starts to increase. So your free testosterone, that's why even within the test, you have to be careful of what you're testing, because there's free testosterone that is available in the body, and there's one that is a very potent form. And that is what causes now the cells of the prostate to, grow, multiply quite fast. And that's what causes the growth of the prostate gland.
Okay.
So again, the nutrients we talked about that maintains the prostate health, from zinc, selenium. We talked about antioxidants. Like Koome, it's an antioxidant that is found in tomatoes. Tomatoes would be very good for men. Yeah, contains a very special form of antioxidant that has been shown to be very protective, for men, especially matters prostate health. So that would be one of the consideration. Of course, maintaining the basic things of nutrition. From a supplements point of view, there's one herbal botanical product called sopalmetto. It's something that has been shown to be very helpful, especially before now you start having the problems. From a very preventative point of view, it's one of the best that you can have. So again, if that's why knowledge is important, so that when you get to that level, now you can start looking at some of these things and start using them early before you get to the problem.
That's very, very interesting. So when do you think we should start getting tested?
For men, I think from the age of 40, it's important to consider.
So we have 10 years before we start crying.
Slightly less than 10.
So I wanted to ask, now that we're on the theme of prostate health, what practices can we adopt as men in their 30s and late 20s or mid 20s that can help us avoid, so are you saying we should eat more tomatoes? So what are we supposed to do to avoid the whole the prostate cancer?
Maintain a proper nutrition.
Okay.
Make sure that you get your key nutrients.
Yeah.
Basically what we've talked about. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yeah. That's again another thing that helps quite a lot. So make sure that you're active. Running, gym, exercise. Make sure that you're able to manage your stress levels, because that's a big issue. Stress is linked to almost every single condition you can think about. So diet, stress, make sure that you're active, and then regular checkups.
Nice.
Because that would be very key.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm always very conscious of the viewer that's watching this, right? And we got up to lunch, we'll talk about supplements.
Yeah.
On an average, let's say 3-month budget for a man, the supplement like bottles take them for around 3 months, would you say? And if so, how much is a guy spending per quarter roughly?
The beauty with it is you'll get quality brands at some premium. Of course, the price will be slightly higher, but you get some very affordable options as well. So it depends with what you want to go for. So for instance, like if we talk about a multivitamin, at 30 days supply will be somewhere around 1,100-1,200. For someone who is on a budget, you get some that slightly maybe 3,000-4,000, which is a more premium option, but still it's giving you the same nutrients. Omegas again would be anywhere around can get a cheaper option and a more premium option. So that's why I keep on saying visit the store, speak to the nutritionist, let them do a nice plan for you, considering both diet, because diet has to be the key foundation, and then the supplements.
We had this conversation off camera, and I think it's really, really important, especially for mid-career professionals who have to make 1,000,001 decisions in a day, right?
Yeah.
And we were speaking about stress and how it can affect productivity and performance at work.
Yeah.
Nootropic drugs is something that we are finding as an alternative. And when I say nootropic drugs, I mean drugs that, affect brain performance and consciousness, right?
Yeah.
So I personally, at Healthy You, got a bottle of L-theanine, and I told you this, so it could help me focus and remain calm because I'm doing so many different things. Ashwagandha is something that's coming up a lot in Kenya. What do you think? Could you help me understand that world of nootropic drugs, brain health and brain performance, and how it can enhance your productivity, especially within the workplace?
It's probably one of my favorite subjects.
I'm very happy to hear.
It's one of the areas that I do quite a bit of research because I think it's very interesting for me. Now, when you think about stress, and I think it connects very well to the conversation we've had about different hormones in your body and how it operates, is, there's stress hormones. We talk about the stress hormones, right? Because our lifestyle, we've changed from the days of our forefathers when they used to be hunters and gatherers, right? You're running after a gazelle or you're running away from the lion, because you're probably going to be the meal. And so what happens is the body produces both adrenaline and cortisol, because then so there's increased blood pressure. You're able to, get the nutrients. And of course, the cortisol now that increases the blood sugar levels so that you get energy to work out, either, to run or do something else. Problem with the stress is it causes the production of these hormones. But now because you're consistently stressed up, is the hormones remain very high. And that's part of the reason why stress will affect libido for men. Because the body, how it operates, it makes cortisol prioritizes making cortisol over the other hormones. So instead of making testosterone, the body will make cortisol because you need to survive.
Sounds like a day in life.
Exactly. So because now the idea is the nootropics and some of the supplements we've mentioned is they help get you back to the balance, because how your body is, how we're created is to operate in a very certain level of balance. So in terms of your mood, in terms of your energy levels, you need to operate within that balance. And some of these nutrients now are coming to help us deal with that, so that as much as you're stressed up, you're able to maintain your calm, you're able to maintain your balance, your energy levels, your mood, and all that. So L-theanine is, again, an amino acid that will give you that focus, but still remain calm. See, the differences would be if you're taking caffeine, for instance, you get the focus, but you're not calm. L-theanine will be the opposite of that. You get the focus, but you still remain calm. Magnesium, I think that's one of the minerals that everybody's talking about in the market, because, again, it helps you relax, will help you deal with, the pressure and, the stresses of the day. Help you fall asleep. We help you recover if maybe you're doing the workout and all that. So these are some of the things, generally we call them adaptogens. They help the body restore the normal balance. So ashwagandha would be one of the adaptogens. And again, if you look into the world of supplements, you get others like Tulsi, rhodiola and all that. So you get a whole range of them. But ashwagandha, I think that's what everybody knows.
Lion's mane as well.
Lion's mane, a special one, because besides the energy levels, the brain health is also the immunity bit of it. It's a form of mushroom. And so people are doing a lot of that as well. So, because again, the balance we're talking about, it's both energy, immunity, and the mood. Those would be the three basic things. Otherwise, you've realized if you're stressed up, also you could still end up getting some of the issues, the problems. So immune, energy, and mood.
It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you
Then
so much.
again, for
Sorry. Maybe another thing that I would add to that is B vitamins, because those are some of the very important nutrients that feeds into your nervous system.
So if like, let's create a hypothetical package for me. Let's hypothetically do it, right? Like, okay, so I work in finance, which is a lot of crunching of numbers. And then I also kind of work with the team in terms of making sure the podcast is working.
Yeah.
And then between that, I'm trying now to fit like a fitness like portion into that, trying to squeeze that in.
Yeah.
So how would, like, from a nootropic point of view, what do you think, like, what supplements do you think I should actually like take? And it's like a live consultation. So what supplements do you think I should take so that I can be able to actually effect that in my day-to-day life?
You've mentioned that you're already taking L-theanine.
Yeah.
So you could maintain that. The other basic ones would be, we've talked about ashwagandha. And apart from that, magnesium. I think those three would be very key. And for the rest of the nutrients, especially the B vitamins, instead of giving you individual B vitamins, I would give you a proper multivitamin, because then it gives you, supplies all these other nutrients in one pack. That, and then an omega-3, because you never get a multivitamin that gives you omega-3.
Okay.
So you'd have that, maintain multivitamin and omega-3. Those are the basic supplements. I think that would be a good combo for you.
I see.
And once in a while, you can throw in lion's mane.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yes.
So I wanted to,
or if you can still do it together.
Yeah. I wanted to bring it now back to, again, practicality, right? So let's say he's come in for that consultation.
Yeah.
And I'm in the healthy use store.
Yeah.
And because people have to invest now in the gym, right? They have to invest in like their home shelter, etc.
Yeah.
How much is I talked about budget, but we kind of went over it slightly. We said 1 or 2 figures.
Yeah.
So let's say for Oscar, as an example, the items that you've mentioned, you come to Healthy You.
Yeah.
When you're speaking to me after the consultation and you've given me a list of items, how much am I going to be roughly spending for those months?
Yeah.
And then if I say, okay, that's either a bit higher than I wanted to, would you then also recommend like a food plan that would maybe like replace some of the supplements? Because I don't want guys to come and think, okay, it's too expensive for me to take care of my nutritional health. So what would happen on a practical level when I'm in the store?
Definitely, and I think that's a very, very good question. And the reason why we love nutritionists who are qualified and certified within the store is because we go back to the principles. Diet provides the foundation. So we start is you make sure that we looking at what you can afford or what you like from a diet point of view, what adjustments you can make from your diet, and then from there now we start building your plan based on what are your specific requirements. For some of the nutrients, instead of doing a supplement, maybe you do a superfood. So I give you an example, superfoods like moringa, baobab, they're rich. Moringa would be very good for your energy. Got some of the nice nutrients there. It's a cheaper option, right? Baobab would be rich in vitamin C for immunity. So maybe instead of giving a supplement for immunity, I would give you a baobab powder so that you mix into your smoothie or your juice, right? So I would look at that, different foods that you can get maybe locally or from the market that provide certain nutrients. And now based on unique requirements, what you can't get from food, that's what you put in the supplements. And then some of them we can say for this month, we can prioritize this and this and this. And the next month we can look at this and this. So you work with your budget.
Is Mwenda a superfood? Because it tastes like one.
I would actually say almost yes, because those are the traditional veggies, so very rich in nutrients. We call them dark green vegetables.
Come on.
And they are rich in different nutrients.
Nice.
One of the things I really liked as well, because we had a consultation, me and you, is we went around the supplements area, and I was a bit like, okay, I have to really invest in this. But then there was actually a section which we didn't even know existed in the store, where you had the oats, you had the nuts, And when that was getting scanned, I was so surprised as to how affordable that section was. And you're saying that was the most important part of the day in the beginning, like having the oats as well. So is that something that's available in all the stores, that section?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is. Okay. I think because how we think is in terms of holistic approach, so that you're looking at diet in a 360 dimension to make sure that someone is getting the nutrients they need, both from a performance point of view, a main macros point of view, and the micronutrients. So that section, you'll get it in every shop. They may not have the big bulk bins, but you have them in pre-packs. So we've got three different brands. We've got the VP packs. We get them within a section within the store. Naturally, that's another one of our other brands. We'll get all those foods in that. And so again, you talk to the nutritionists and they give you a nice combo. Maybe something else I forgot to mention, we've got a whole section of herbal teas. Some of these herbal botanicals we talked about, you can get them in form of herbal tea.
Some other misconceptions I want to just quickly highlight are foods that we're maybe taking that we assume are doing the job that aren't. The first one, back to the guy that might be watching because of libido, is like oysters. You mentioned oysters. Is that people sometimes take that thinking I'm going to be getting higher libido. Are there other examples of food where, yes, it's correct as a common social theme, and are there some that maybe are like traditional foods that we're not getting what we expect from them?
What's the name of that Luya? That
Mukombero,
yes. Is this true?
Yeah, just a few.
Does it check out? Ila is saying oysters, me I'm saying mukombero. Does it check out?
The thing with the different foods, the so-called aphrodisiacs, is some of them, when you look at them, is they've got some of the nutrients that supports libido in one way or the other. So say oysters are rich in zinc. For instance, the others you'll get is something like chocolate. It kind of helps boost
dark
rather
chocolate
than feel
or
good.
milk chocolate?
The dark chocolate.
Interesting.
So they've got some of the nutrition that strawberries, nuts. So from the nutrition point of view, you see some of the nutrients that yes would have an impact, from a nutrition point of view, but it's not an instant one. So ideally, when you're taking them and you feel like it's boosting your libido, it's not like a direct.
We stay focused on the
more
pumpkin
psychological.
seeds. We stay focused on the pumpkin seeds. That's what the good doctor is saying. Stay focused on pumpkin seeds.
Because I don't want someone to now start melting dark chocolate with strawberries and assume,
So yes, they've got a bit of nutrition, but I think the impact, the way we look at it, it's more of a psychological issue than really there's a bit of science in it, but it's not a direct correlation.
Move from oysters, come to mukombero. Real results.
I think the basic thing is you just work with the basic nutrition principles, and it's a lifestyle. It's not a one-off thing.
Exactly.
So it's not something you do today. And
mukombero is definitely a lifestyle.
We're being very mature. So you're saying the like sustainable diet rather than looking for a quick fix of taking someone to get oysters rather than like a longer term.
I have a question.
Yes.
And it's around myths as well. What are some of the nutrition myths that you see in fitness, especially? As we've spoken a lot about sports and using food to kind of activate productivity. What are some of the nutrition myths that you see within the gym culture, the fitness culture, that you think ought to be dealt with?
A few. One, I think it's when sometimes you feel you could just eat anything because you'll go to the gym and sweat it out. So I think that doesn't work because, again, if you're going to the gym, the basic point of it is, yes, you want to look good, have muscles, but you want to be healthy. So that's the first thing. So you have to make sure that you maintain a proper nutrition throughout. Maybe the other thing is people do a lot of carbs as well without looking at things like protein and quality protein for that matter. So I think to me those would be some of the two main things. And also for again, maybe to re-emphasize, diet is key, very key. So again, as much as we're talking about supplements, you have to make sure that your diet is right.
Fantastic.
So that you don't just think about the whey proteins and the pre-workouts, you're also thinking about your diet.
As a chief nutritionist, within your brain, there's just a wealth of knowledge, right? To do with foods, lifestyle. If you were to have a microphone that could speak to the whole world, right, and you needed to give them like 2 sentences to do with nutrition.
Yeah.
That if everyone just implemented, it would generally
Yeah.
move the needle in terms of a more healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
What would be like the one thing you would tell everyone globally with all of that knowledge and one opportunity?
I would tell them nutrition is simple. Every single day for most of us, you've got you do 3 meals a day. So that means you've got 3 golden opportunities to make the right decision. So if you do that over consistently over a period of time, you'll have created a good foundation for yourself. Go back to the basics, which means get your quality protein, get your carbs, complex carbohydrates. I think we've gotten into the processed foods world, simple sugars and sodas and all that. So getting back to the basics, I mentioned about fermented porridge. I think most people have moved away from that. So it's getting back to the basics. Make sure that you get your vegetables and possibly let's do organic, because again most of the stuff we get in the market is inorganic. So it's coming with other residues and stuff that will create a problem. So if you can do organic, the better. Make sure that you do your fruits. You remember the saying that says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So basically telling you make sure that you do your fruits. Manage your stress levels. Stress is a big problem. Make sure that you're active throughout the day. And maybe to close this would be, there's a test. We work with one of the leading nutritionists in UK, and it's called Patrick Holford. He has developed a cognitive function test to see how your brain is functioning, how healthy is your brain and mental health, and your risk of developing, conditions like Alzheimer's or dementia. Yeah. And he's got like 8 different parameters, which looks into the aspect of how active is your brain. So, activity, some of the activities that you do that keeps your brain active, your activity level in terms of the body. So if you're working out, if you're running and all that, your diet in terms of kind of carbohydrates that you're taking, whether it's simple or complex. Issues to do with whether you're getting enough rest and sleep. So are you getting your 8 hours or 7 hours of sleep? Are you getting enough antioxidants? We didn't talk about that. So the malt-colored foods, because that's your good source. Talking about there's that, and maybe I might be forgetting 1 or 2. I can share the link with you for the test. When you do the test, it's an eye-opener. Because ideally it captures every aspect of your life and lifestyle, how you spend your day, and then it helps you to start making changes, because it will not just affect your brain, it affects every other function in the body. And I think that's one thing I tell people, start with that, know where you are, make the adjustments from there on.
Lovely. Thank you so much for your time.
Sometimes health can feel like it's a full-time job to just look after yourself. And I'm personally struggling with my nutrition. We had a conversation just trying to implement these things, but what I've kind of realized is, yes, it's a wealth of information, but just start with like the basics, form the habit, then add on another one, form the habit, add another one, form the habit, because you're not going to change and fill your cupboard and then start, because that can be very overwhelming. So I'm on that journey. I hope that anyone watching as well has taken something from this, or maybe realized that there's something in their routine, in their life, that they can maybe take away or enhance, or that they're doing right, that they should keep on doing. That was the aim of this conversation.
100%. I'll definitely be making my own consultation privately, like 100%, especially like on the pieces like I've just touched. Like I think it's really, really important, like especially at this phase where like a man's productivity and performance is everything, and it's not just like, not just sexually, also like your spiritually, physically, mentally. I think we've entered a phase in our life where like we're judged by our results, and like you have to be very conscious of it. And this was a really, really enlightening. Thank you so much.
And maybe one last thing I forgot to mention. We've got we do offer free nutrition consultations across all our stores and online platform. So if you have a question, just get to social media platforms, ask the question, and we will respond, or you can visit any of the stores.
Please visit the stores, guys. Legit, I've learned so much from you. It's insane.
Thank you so much for your time.
Chief Nutritionist.
Chief Nutritionist, thank you. And we hope you've enjoyed this episode
half as much
as we've enjoyed making it.
Because we had a ball.
See you soon.
See you.